Reverb. You've got 4 kinds: hall reverb, plate reverb, room reverb, and spring reverb. So starting with our hall reverb, and now that is exactly what it says on the tin. It's just replicating a hall, a giant open space. You might have also seen it written as church reverb or something similar of that liking, and it's very known for that term of swimming in it. You might have heard the term swimming in reverb. Now this effect, the hall reverb, is common for that, as it is just really open and it just fills up all that space. Now onto our plated reverb. This one is a pretty fascinating one and how it came about. So in the 1950s they needed to have a synthetic reverb, and that was plated reverb. So in studios they would hang up this giant piece of metal and it was put in between frames, so piece of metal and the frames. Now when the audio was put onto the metal sheet, it would then reverberate within the frames, and this would make this synthetic reverb, and it kind of has a little bit of that springy sound to it as well. So that's kind of where you get that metallic, almost sort of as you hear that reverb, if you listen carefully. And you may think, it does sound like a hall reverb, and basically you're right. It's just kind of the vintage version of that, as they were trying to replicate a large open space with that plated reverb. So our room reverb is replicating a small space, and it's good for things like the acoustic guitar, funk, metal, some genres of rock. You know, it can be used in many things, but it has that short and sharp tone. So it doesn't hang around too long, it cuts off pretty quick and is just like that. Now our spring reverb. Now this is created when the audio signal goes through what is like a spring metal coil, and as the audio signal goes through that coil, it basically vibrates, reverberates, reverb, and creates this weird spring-like texture tone of reverb. So reverb, like spring reverb, doesn't hang around too much, but it's got this bouncy sound, and it's used in like surfer rock and that sort of vintage type of reverb, and you've probably heard it on many things like that. So this was just 4 of the most popular guitar reverbs out there, so please explore all the different types, as there's so many more, and let me know in the comments down below what your favorite guitar reverb is.